I'm Rossella from Claritystamp. Today what I want to show you is a colouring technique with Pergaliners, Deboss colouring. Now I want to show you this particular sample and work through it. I've designed the circular design using two of our plates, the two poetry plates actually. In fact, I'm just going to show you them. We've got the, I'll turn it around so you can read that. Okay, get a grip. There we go. So you can see we've got lots and lots of lovely detail on here, and for this particular design all I've chosen are the leaves from it, the sycamore and the acorns as well. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to run through the colouring on the acorns. Now I'm just going to emboss some of those separately so that we've got some to work on. The difference between this particular colouring technique and other colouring techniques with the Pergaliners is that I'm actually going to deboss the design. So ordinarily groovy plates we think of embossing on the reverse and then the front is then raised. This we're actually going to emboss on the top, so it's the back that's raised, not the front. So at the front we've got that nice flat surface. So let's just give this a bit of a whiz over with a kitchen roll. There we go. Tumble dry sheet. And I've got the groovy tools in my hand, so let's use that one. We'll use the groovy number 1, get a nice crisp image on there. And we'll just trace out this little acorn. So what I'm looking at is the embellishment, which is just the 2 acorns on the design. So that's what we're going to look at colouring today. So let's just quickly, it's going to take me 1 or 2 moments to actually emboss all of this, so talk amongst yourselves whilst I get on with it. And there we go, we've got it all embossed now. So let's take that from our groovy plate. I don't need my light panel anymore because what I'm going to do now is work on the hard side of the groovy mat. So I've embossed the acorns, that's the embossed side, that's not the side I want to use. I want to use the debossed side for my colouring. So we have to just bring this back in again to look at. So it's these little acorns here that I'm going to be using. So the colours that I'm going to use, and I'll put these on the video as well so you can copy it exactly if you wish. So Pergaliners, we're going to use B8, we're going to use, for the acorn body, we're going to use B12, B6 and B3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with that yellow colour. Let's pop that back out of the way. And I'm just going to lay down plenty of colour on there. And you need enough colour on there because what we are going to use is the Dorso oil and the sponges, the paper stump to blend it, and you need enough colour on there to actually blend. So then let's look at, perhaps the next colour would be this sort of light brownish colour, so let's put some of that in between. Now the reason I want to do a deboss colouring is I found that when colouring on the front you get sort of all involved with the embossed lines and the ridges, and it just got in the way, and it frustrated me, and I thought, no, I can't be coping with this. And I found that when I was actually colouring I liked the effect on the back more than I did on the front, so I decided we'd put the back effect on the front of our work. So we've got 2 colours, and you can see we're building up the colours there, plenty of colour on there. Let's go for this darker colour, and let's just add a little bit onto there as well. It's a round shape, so let's try and put a little bit of shadow in to enhance that roundness as well. So a little bit around the corners there, sort of cutting into the design. I'm just laying down colour. There's no particular technique to this. I'm sort of using a bit of a circular technique for this. That's just the way I do it. Let's go back, let's bring that colour in and blend it together. Whoops, come back here. There we go. Let's blend that. Bring it into that centre yellow. Let's have that yellow again. Let's bring that in as well. So we've got quite a lot of colour going on there, quite like that. A little bit more of that brown, I think. you can build up and build up these colours. That's a great thing about these Pergaliners. They're a great set. You've got, not only have you got the B pencils, they're the pencils that I'm using at the moment, and they're the oil-based blending pencils. You've also got some A pencils within your set, and they're a watercolour pencil, so it means that you can actually watercolour paint with them as well, or you can combine the two. So it makes them a really, really versatile set. So just a little bit more shadow in there, and then I'm going to start blending then with my Dorso oil. Yep, I'm quite happy with that. So I'm going to get my Dorso oil out, and what I'm also going to use are some of our spot-on sponges. Let me reach all the way through my tool bag. Okay. And we also need a paper stump for this as well. So I'm going to pop a little bit of the Dorso oil on the spot-on sponge. Now the reason being is if you put the Dorso oil straight onto your paper stump, you can't meter out how much oil goes on it. If you get too much oil, it'll take all the colour away. If you don't get enough oil, then it won't do anything anyway. So I found that if you actually pop it onto the sponge and then use it from the sponge, you've got a little bit more control then of how much oil you're putting on. So a little bit on there, and then let's start then. Now that's a little bit too much, so all I'm going to do then is take a bit of that oil off, and I'm going to pop a little bit more yellow pencil on there to replace it. There we go. And then that should have evaporated a bit more by now. There we go. And then I can blend those colours together now. Again, I'm doing little circular movements there to blend them. And you just get that really, really smooth blend. Now, I'm doing this on the front of the work. If you want to blend your colours, you can do that on the back of the work as well. It's entirely up to you. You can do a mixture of the two, which is what I've done on the finished sample. But it gets that really nice blend between the colours and more of a realistic looking acorn in this case. To finish it off, what I've then done is I've just taken the green pencil and just put a few extra shadows within there. Again, just to enhance that round shape on there, and tie it in with some of the other colours on the card as well. You can choose whether you blend. Now you can continue adding colour as much as you'd like to. But actually I'm quite happy with that little acorn there as it is. Thank you for watching.